StarVox, please cut.
Well, Josh, tell me about yourself, man. Like, how'd you find voxel art?
I found voxel art through Reddit, actually, and I've been a fan of it for a few years now. Just sort of, I would see it and I would like it, sort of mixed in with isometric stuff, and became aware of it through that. And I just really liked the look of it. It has a different feel than other digital mediums, and I thought it stood out. And yeah, I followed it for a couple of years before I ever tried it myself.
Cool. Did you ever do any art leading up to that or anything? Would you like pixel art or modeling of any kind?
I used to do pixel art like way back in the day. I've been a Photoshop junkie basically my whole life. Well, Microsoft Paint, of course, first, but then leading into Photoshop. But the only other art that I've done is cartography, actually, but has absolutely nothing to do with this. Yeah. I drew maps for a few years, but
nice.
Yeah, totally different.
Oh, okay. Like fictional maps or like maps for like actual places?
Anything. I would draw them on commission. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you get into business for that? Did you study it or anything?
Well, my degree is in geography, so in a way, and history. But
oh, nice. Okay.
I actually
so you got a good base.
I had a good base, and then I did a Kickstarter for it, and it actually worked out.
Cool. That's always good. I like to hear those little stories play out when you can get a little business idea going. From interest and everything.
It's a little different. A little different than what I'm doing now. I actually own a commercial art gallery.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So I sell paintings for a living, but nothing within the digital sphere. So this is totally different than the kind of art that I deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Gotcha. So mostly traditional canvas art.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. That's really cool. Well, awesome. That's kind of sounds like how I found voxel art too. I was just kind of browsing around and voxel models started to pop up and I was like, man, that's pretty. I want to make some cool looking isometric art.
Right? It just looks awesome. It feels different.
It's like really satisfying, and I love like old school graphics, so like 8-bit, 16-bit things and stuff. So I was like, oh, you can make some really cool stuff with sprites and still render it in 3D. And then MagicaVoxel came around and I was like, wow, that's kind of easy actually, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I never imagined it was going to be free either. That was mind-blowing.
Oh yeah, me neither.
It's like incredible software
using,
for
right?
free.
So like
yeah,
no kidding, with the render and everything. Oh my god.
When I'm working in voxels, it's sometimes difficult to keep it small. I like to work on big projects for some reason, but voxels really do shine the best, I think, when they're viewable, when they're small, when the scenes are small, and people get really creative with the size of these things. And
no kidding.
Lately, I've been trying to scale myself down, and it hasn't worked. But it is fun to work small and challenge yourself that way.
It's true. Actually, it was actually the one that kind of gave me the idea starting out, because I was like, well, small stuff. Then microcities came around, and I was like, small city and everything. So that with Mandrill's sort of idea.
Yeah, small cities got me into doing something smaller, and I found it really satisfying. I'd like to do some more of that.
Totally. We've actually had some events in the past in the server that deal with like restrictively small sizes, and I think we're gonna have another one coming up here pretty soon.
Nice. Yeah, Microcities was the first event that I had been able to join in on, so I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad. When did you find the server?
Geez, when did I find the server? Not really that long ago. I did my first voxel piece last May, I think, so it hasn't even been a full year.
Gotcha.
And then the server, I think I found it through messaging. It was either Nos or Dima or somebody on Instagram, I think it was, and they led me this way, and it's like, oh man, and now I'm addicted.
Totally, it's a trap. You could fall into it.
An awesome trap, very rewarding trap.
Right. It's true. We've got some a lot of cool art that comes in and through there. So you made a submission for the Microcities event, which is cool. And we kind of worked together on that a little bit and started talking about the audio nostalgia event. Let's talk about that some.
Yeah, that was really, really cool that you guys let me do that, because I haven't had any experience running events like this, and it just sort of came out of nowhere. But I don't even really...
You did a good job, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was we were messaging before it went live, and I was worried that it was gonna fall flat or people wouldn't engage with it because there were 46 spots available.
Yeah.
And I was afraid we'd get like 5 or 6, and then I'd just be making the others myself. That's how it started. Actually, I had this idea to do this because I started making cassette tapes just for fun, and I was like, well, what if we did like a big scene and all these things? And then it started to get really big in my mind. Like, I don't have time to model all of these things.
Right.
Why don't we?
A lot of hand, yeah.
Why don't we do an event and see if people want to pick them?
Totally. And lo and behold, it worked out really well. Like, you had submissions and reservations right away.
Yeah, within the first few hours, people were submitting things that they had reserved. It was really cool. Took a deep breath or two. It was nice.
Yeah. Just take a nice chill approach to it, I think, is the best way to handle those events. And it's cool to see it, everybody get like way into it and like how excited they are, even though it's like a surge at first, super intimidating. It's like, whoa. But it starts to even out. And as you start to assemble the final product, it looks so cool, and it does.
Yeah, it was really fun to get some chatter on the event and get people engaged with it and sharing things. Like, that was really rewarding. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, keeping it chill and stuff like that. You don't know me very well.
I suppose so.
I'll worry about it. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah. So that's now over. That was like a 2-week event. Did you get any like extra submissions or anything you couldn't really use?
No, we used everything. In fact, I had to decline quite a few of the cassettes because people wanted more of them.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Sure.
I found
it took off.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice spread because there were some things that were actually quite complicated to make, and then some things that were very simple to make. So people that had more time could select the harder things, and people that just had an hour or 10 minutes or whatever could make a cassette and submit it. And so we did have more interest than we had capacity for, which was cool too. But I encourage people to make them anyway. But I don't know.
Totally.
I haven't seen any of those yet.
Oh, just might.
Hopefully, yeah.
I did get a few extra micro cities after the event was over. So
I noticed that.
In fact, I got one like 2 days ago. As a matter of fact, one sent to
Oh, really? That's
DMs.
pretty late.
Yeah, I was like, huh? Like, well, okay, cool, thank you.
I remember there was one like 20 seconds after you closed it. I was like, nice.
Yeah. I think that was Octree, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he snuck it in there. He was like, oh, I finally did it.
It's a good thing it looked really good too. Otherwise,
Yeah, that was my problem. I'm like, well, dang.
I guess we have to add
it. Looks
it.
really good, so I have to put this in. Yeah. And I'm still working on a couple assemblies of that collage too. We're gonna have a couple different like MVC wallpapers out of this.
Oh, cool! That's awesome. I actually had, so instead of having too many submissions and not knowing what to do with them, there was running an event like this where I sort of had made the scene and had a vision for what I wanted it to look like. There were a couple times where I had to sort of check myself and check my own ego when pieces came back that I didn't envision and didn't, and that's a little, I was a little tricky. It sort of took me aback. I wasn't expecting to deal with that, but it's, when you're sharing, when you're doing a collaboration, whatever comes your way, that's what someone else has made. And that's what's so cool about doing a collaboration is you don't know what someone's going to make. And having it come back and be different than you thought ends up being what makes the final piece. And
it's true. Yeah.
Character. Yeah, exactly. And it creates something that I couldn't have made on my own, which was the whole idea.
So would you have any like interest in doing other events in the future?
Oh yeah, I've already got some ideas.
Awesome.
It was really fun. It was a lot of work. It was a lot more work than maybe I thought it would be. Because I like to keep rendering and updating when somebody would add something.
Yep.
And it was such a large scene that it would take forever to get a render to show, and then someone would make a submission as I was about to post it, and I didn't want them to feel left out, so I would re-render it. But
totally.
But yeah, I'd love to do some more events. I think there's so many cool ideas that, and I've had actually people approach me as well, just talking about the event that are thinking of events that they'd want to run. So I think it's really engaging for the community.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. I'm actually trying to find ways to like reach out and make it known that folks can submit ideas for events, and if we get enough of them and there's a significant like demand, I guess, I can make like a spreadsheet that has a schedule with a bunch of information and some outlines and guides, so that we can have like regular events all the time.
That's a great idea. And you could have a calendar of
Mm-hmm.
of events that are upcoming, almost like a creative space.
It's
Right.
true.
I think
So,
that would be really
that's
beneficial to the community because people seem to really like them. There's lots of
yeah,
engagement with them.
I agree. Cool. Well, that green lights it for me. I guess I'll start working on that.
There you go. That's all you needed, really.
That's it. Yeah. Did you? Let's see here. So you've been in the server about a year. Were you here for the Starship event?
Starship Event? No.
Okay,
What
I
was
did.
that?
Now I can't even remember how long ago that was anymore. But I did an event where basically anybody could make any sort of like starship, and
Oh,
then
that's
I put
right up
them
my
all
alley.
together.
I would have loved
Yeah.
that.
I'll find some links and everything for you so you can check it out. But
Is it too late to make a
yeah,
submission?
never. Never. I still have the original files and everything. I
Nice.
keep them because I want to have like an armada of ships from like everybody I've known on the MVC. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun. I did one
Totally.
of my first big scene that was using more than one item, whatever they call object,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
was the Falcon 9, so SpaceX Falcon 9 coming back
Oh yeah.
into port on the landing ship. Of course, I still love you.
Uh huh.
And I just love rocket ships. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. Sure thing. Other people have also requested that we do other Starship events in the future, so that's already top of my list.
Fantastic.
No problem. Yeah. And you'll be in. No problem.
Sign me up in advance.
You got it. Top slot. Because I actually don't really know how I would do the next one. The last one I did the hard way. So like, I set a palette and a little template, as in for size and everything, and everybody had their own landing pad. And I'm just like, all right, so send me your Vox file and I'll combine them, so that we all of our ships are in this one model together. And that's exactly the same problem that you had. It took forever to render, and I was getting spaceships all the time. And I'm like, oh yeah, hang on, I'll make a new copy so you can see it.
Well, and it's tricky because having enough colors and materials that people can use,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that was really tricky because I kept spots available for custom, but
I saw
everybody
that.
sharing one palette was
Mm-hmm.
really challenging. I didn't really know how to put that together, and I think I would have done it a little bit differently in the future.
Yeah, I would say actually, if you have any like notes about what you feel like you did right and you want to start putting together like an event template with me, then you should totally do that.
That'd be cool. I'd be up for that.
Awesome.
I should show you my
Cool.
spreadsheet. It's glorious.
Hell yeah. That's what I want.
That was the only way to keep it. The 48 items in total. The only way to keep that organized.
That's very good. Yeah, I usually just I did super meticulous folder sorting in Google Drive for the starships.
That's good too.
Yeah, it was a little time consuming, but it was fun also.
I
And,
love that kind
I
of
agree
stuff.
that I would probably do it differently next time.
Well, we'll get better.
It's true. Yep. And these different event formats, we haven't really done a challenge in a while, but these have just been like art submission events. We would sometimes in the past do like challenges where we do like even giveaways and prizes for Steam keys and stuff, or any type of little thing we had sitting around if we had merch from like a game developer that we were like talking to. And we're trying to figure out what to do for that next also. And we're
I do
thinking
think
maybe like something small scale.
I think that's a great idea. There is something
Yeah.
about having the submissions weighed, which is fun, adds a little
Mhm.
bit more weight to the submission that you end up giving.
Yeah.
I know I've been waiting for one that's, I don't know if juried is the right word, but that is graded
Mhm.
in some way. I think it would be fun to challenge yourself that way.
Totally. Yeah, but it would just be like we did reaction votes, so everybody in the server could vote, and then we would have like appointed judges at the end who would take a look at all the tallies and take a look at it themselves, and then sort out the winners.
So no
And,
Bodie
super cool.
McBoat face. No Voxy McVox face.
Maybe, maybe not.
You got the human at the end to decide.
That's right. That's right.
Gotcha.
Or is there? Foxy controls all.
I miss Foxy.
I actually really miss Voxy too. It was super
Yeah.
handy having Voxy around.
So handy,
But,
but
we're
it sounds
working
very
on that.
difficult to maintain.
Totally. Zarba's our guy who's like super tech wizard. He was doing a lot more that we actually saw on the server before. He's been a little quiet now because I know he's super busy with stuff, but he's got like some super cool projects in the works. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I know that he's like I said, he's super busy, but I do miss him and I miss Voxy.
Didn't
Hopefully
he post,
we'll get them back.
Didn't he post something today?
Oh, he might have. I don't
A
know.
new scene. I'm gonna quickly check.
Oh, wait a minute. I think he said that he got a LiDAR or something, and he's going to start doing photogrammetry or something.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, they posted yesterday in the morning. It's an incredible scene. It's like a desert, really, really like desert wasteland kind of thing with some spires. The lighting is phenomenal.
Ooh.
I really,
Whew.
very cool scene. Anyhow.
Yeah, I would. I'm super excited to see whenever he does something new.
Mm-hmm. There's some seriously amazing artists on the server.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm stunned all the time, and like we keep getting more and more activity. Like there's new art posted all the time.
It's growing, eh?
Mm-hmm.
The
We used
community.
to be pretty darn small, and I've only been here for like 2 going on 3 years, I think.
Do you know
And,
when was it set up? I don't actually know that.
I think it was maybe 2017. It's not a super old server necessarily, but it started out as mostly, if not entirely, French, and then they
Oh, no
branched out
kidding.
from there. Yep.
Oh,
It
that's
used
cool.
to be called, I guess it was MagicaVoxel Community FR, for France. I can't remember. It was like a super old design for the server icon and everything.
That's awesome. There's a lot of
Mhm.
diversity, it seems, on the server, which
Oh,
is
yeah, a
cool
lot.
too.
Yeah.
It's nice. I've had some conversations with people in different cultures and
Mhm.
totally different situations than me, and it's really, especially during COVID, it's been really nice to have this sort of community because
Yeah, no kidding.
I have felt so isolated this past year, and
Yeah.
seriously, the community, the MagicaVoxel community, has really lessened that for me. Like I've really felt connected to something and to people,
Mm.
and I've gotten getting to know people on here, and it's made a huge difference for me in the last year.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that, man.
Yeah.
I like to think that it's a friendly place. Most of the time, everybody's super supportive, and there's pretty much always someone to talk to. So that's really
Oh
cool.
yeah, the help feed is unbelievable.
Yeah, we've got some experts.
Experts,
And,
but also like snappy. Like you
Yeah,
get,
it's
you
true.
get an
Yeah.
answer right away. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I only started using Discord for the first time maybe 2 years ago, so I was pretty new to all of this. But it's a
Yeah.
great platform. It works really well.
Totally. I love it for art interest servers and stuff like that. If it wasn't for the MVC, I definitely would not have learned as much about pretty much like any digital art as I have so far.
Right. The only thing I wish there was is some sort of portfolio page somewhere
Yeah, I
where
agree. Yeah.
you click on somebody's name and you can see all the work that they've done. Because as soon as it
Mhm.
disappears in the Voxel Creations feed, it sort of goes away into the ether.
Yeah, then you have to find it through kind of convoluted search, even though it is sort of cool, keywords and everything. But yeah, I agree.
The search
I
does
think,
work quite well, but it would be nice if you click, I don't think,
Yeah,
I
just
don't know
a
if
direct.
that's possible in Discord or not, but
I don't know. I should think that down the line it probably wouldn't be too terribly difficult to have a user gallery of like several images or something. Like,
yeah, that'd be
especially
cool.
if you can, maybe if you could pay for an upgraded account or something like Nitro Plus or a certain subscription, you can have like more assets as a user.
That's true. That being said, we do all like follow each other on Instagram and Twitter, and we see
Yeah, that's
everything
also
on
true.
there.
Mhm.
I'll go through my rounds. Like I'll star things on the server, and then I'll go on Instagram and I'll do it there. And then I'll go on
Cool.
Twitter and I'll do it there.
It's kind of like a challenge to try and find all the same pieces because some artists don't post to all the platforms, and I've totally done that before. I'm like, oh, which one is this one?
Yeah, actually, despite the fact that I found voxeling on Reddit, I've completely dropped off there because I don't find
yeah.
the community very engaging on there.
Neither do I actually. I used to post to the MagicaVoxel subreddit, and
Mhm.
then sometimes to the Voxel subreddit, but not anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. For some reason, Twitter is like, I don't know, the
No,
holy
it's just
grail.
banging. Yeah,
of
it's
Vox.
just everybody's always on it. people are monitoring it, and it's impossible not to get notified about things on Twitter anymore.
It's weird to me because Twitter, to me, isn't a very good medium for visual art. Like
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, the photo uploads aren't that great. Like it's more of a conversation app, whereas I find Instagram is fantastic for voxel art.
Yeah, it's great. Curated, looks pretty.
Yeah, that's where I spend most of my time.
Very organized. Yeah. So yeah, I still find a lot of our artists. I guess it's kind of like if you want to make a nice curated post, you're gonna send it to Instagram, and then on Twitter, you're gonna use that post for all your hashtags and like trying to start little threads and things. And
I'm the worst at hashtags. I always forget. Like I go in
yeah, I
and
know what you mean.
I start doing them. And I'm like, what do I even do?
Paste.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Because I would constantly forget. I'm like, oh,
it ends up being
tags
pretty half-assed.
Yeah.
MagicaVoxel community. Okay, I got that. We're good.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's not bad. Especially now that we're getting a little bit more life to that account. More organizations and more people are like starting to find it. So we're getting more and more shares and more likes, and the insights are starting to go up.
Mm-hmm.
And I find actually that if our users post on Twitter that they're going to do like a stream or something, then we'll get more activity in Discord thereafter.
Oh, interesting.
If they actually do something, so that kind of translates a little bit.
That's cool.
We are in the science of voxel media now.
Apparently.
So you said you handle a lot of traditional art. Have you did you like grow up as doing traditional art? Do you like to be a painter? Do you like draw?
Actually, no. I really don't do any of that. I do some drawing, but not really. And like I said, cartography was my one foray into any sort of fine art.
Which is really cool. And I feel like it's super complex to just jump into.
It was fun. It's fun. I just really like doing it. And it's highly detailed. It takes forever. Your back is sore at the end. Like, it's perfect for me. That's the kind of work that I like to do. Like, late at night. But, my life changed a lot. I bought an art gallery. I had a kid. And so I don't have a ton of free time anymore. What I find with voxeling is that I can pick it up for a little bit and just save it and put it away. And it's very easy to do that. Digital medium, I can do it in the evening for a couple of hours or even for an hour and put it away and pick it up again. So it's really easy. But I do like the difference of sort of when I'm at work dealing with, paintings and canvas and traditional artists who really are like artists in that sense of the word. They're professionals. They're very, very good painters. And then this, on the other hand, this very new digital medium that has, this, it's only like a couple of years old. It's really not that old at all as an art form, which is fascinating to me because I think about where art's going, and the traditional stuff is always going to be there. You're always going to want people that, to have something physical on the wall. It's something that only that person could make with paint with a brush. That's not going anywhere. But how art evolves and the new types of art that can emerge from that is really fascinating to me. Digital art, when I first started it back in the day with Photoshop, it was all about just trying to emulate traditional art in a digital format, brushes and textures and stuff like that. And there's a lot of that now too. But I found it's just really taking new steps in the last number of years. And voxel art, I think, is a symptom of that. It's like 3D art and 3D modeling for the masses that isn't terribly complicated, that somebody can just pick up. Like you go into the community feed here, and the people will say, "Oh, this is my first post. What do you guys think?" I'm like, "What? That's your first post? That's amazing! Like, you're so good." You can pick it up and just start going, and it doesn't have too steep a learning curve, and you can get really complex with it or really simple. I think that type of interface that's been created with the software, with MagicaVoxel, allows for this new type of art that's really opened it up to a lot of different kinds of people, not just professionals. And I think that's just really cool. It's really fascinating to see that change. So I like seeing both ends of it.
I agree. That is super cool. And now we're even seeing like mobile voxel editors now too. So like on Android and iPhone, you can get not terribly complex, I suppose, but cool bare bones little voxel building tools that kind of translate a little bit.
That would be
And,
weird. I don't think I'd like that.
yeah, I've
But,
tried it, and it's not it's not bad. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it's cool for an idea on the fly.
Yeah,
If you're
that-
like, oh, I need like just to sketch this out real
Right.
fast. You could do it.
That would be, yeah, totally. That would be your sketching. That would be
Mhm.
your notepad, essentially. Okay, I'll give it a try.
And I think there's like 3 or 4 different kinds now. I just tried one that I'll have to find and link. But someone was talking about it in the server, and it's got this cool little intro tutorial that like kind of just forces you to use the tools and see how it's done, and it's intuitive. It's nice for like a small modeling. Kind of like build a little voxel dog or whatever. It's pretty cool.
That is kind of nice because I do find that there's like if you're thrown into the deep end with something like MagicaVoxel, where anything tutorial based is all user created, and
Yeah, that's true.
you know, a varying degrees of quality and
Location.
location and language is something that's really interesting with it
Yeah,
because it is
also,
so it is so international that you know, and me being so just like English centric, the way that my daily life works here where I
Yeah.
live, it's refreshing, but it's also like, oh yeah, there's a lot of different people using this and they're all around the world. Like that's really neat.
Totally. And a lot of the materials that I was finding first were all written in French because, like you said, user generated, and they came from this community here, which was mostly like French users. And so there's this really cool website, which is super robust, covered in GIFs, super descriptive, but it's all in French. And I was like, oh,
Google Translate didn't do enough for you there.
well, at the time, I guess it just didn't work out very well. And there were a few other resources too, but I was also in the Discord server, so I was like looking at the page, talking to people who were in the server live, like, help.
So you were the early days for English voxeling in the community.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. They were just starting to, like, folks from North America were kind of just starting to get in there. And I was, like, probably the most vocal North American, really. I was kind of, like, forcing myself in and being in the voice chat and trying to listen through accents and everything. And
That
I guess,
sounds about right. American. That's perfect.
Yeah. They, like, as I kind of stuck around, some more English-speaking users, North American users came around. Some folks from South America also, and Canada, of course.
Yeah. Hey, Canada. Woo.
Canada.
There's a few of us up here in the voxel community.
Yeah, it's true. And I think I don't know if it's been possible up there, but in the past there has been at least one MVC meetup over there in Europe.
Oh, no kidding.
Where several of the OG users were actually able to get together and hang out in a cafe or something and chat and talk and exchange gifts, and then they parted and came back to the server.
That's really cool. If I was
Yeah,
8
it is.
years younger and there wasn't a global pandemic, I'd be all over that.
Yeah, no kidding. I completely agree because I felt the same way. I'm like, oh man, I totally want to make an event so like, you know, we artists can get together and have some sort of voxel event, like the first of its kind. But yeah, I don't think so. No.
No. No, but that, you know, at some point, you know, who knows where the community will go and how many people will join. That could be totally possible, even if
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
true.
us.
You never know. And we're trying to kind of continue working the machine, so we'll get there. To whatever the result is, we're gonna get there.
Nice. Well, I have to say that the MagicaVoxel community as a whole, I think, is run very well, and
Awesome.
I think the mods do a great job, and it's very well organized, and I like the direction that it's going, and the events that you guys are running, and it's really fun. It's become part of my daily life.
Cool. Awesome. I am really glad to hear that. It means we're on the right track.
Mm.
And I know that I, for one, I know a lot of other people enjoy them too, but I like your art. You make some really cool stuff that you submit in the server, and I
Oh,
look
thanks.
forward to what you post.
I really appreciate that.
No problem. You are a talented artist.
I try. I don't always know. What?
Well,
It is
this
fun-
event really shows, man. I love the setup for the music setup and everything, the wall and the shelves, and
Oh, I was nervous
Yeah.
about that. I've never done an indoor scene before.
yeah, that's what
And,
you were saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
turned
I've
out
been
just
wanting to
fine.
try one for a while. I've been sort of playing around with it, and I decided to just jump in with it. But It was a little nerve-wracking because I know some people just make the most incredible interiors and inside shots, and I didn't want to mess it up on a very public try.
I totally get what you mean. Yep.
But it's
Nope,
funny
worked out
too
just fine.
with pieces in general that you make. I'm always curious to see what people are going to like and respond to, because there's some projects that I'll have spent like weeks on and a significant amount of time that don't get very much attention, which is totally fine. But something that you spend like an hour on that's very simple, people just love. It's
Lose their minds over, yeah.
It's really curious, and I think that's part of the nature of the medium that we were talking about earlier, is that these things that are small, the more creative that you can get using these blocks, people really appreciate that in the server. They appreciate how clever you can get, and how much you can show with such a little space, because the renders are so realistic and so beautiful that you can do some really interesting stuff with very little, and that seems to be where the passion lies for a lot of users. I think that's really cool. It reminds me to simplify things.
Totally, yeah. Subtlety is always king, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, there you go.
So I guess in terms of things going forward, I like to always kind of tie it off with aspirations. Are you where you want to be at in life, or do you have someplace you'd like to be?
In life or in Voxel life?
In life.
In life.
If you have like creative aspirations or business aspirations, what do you want to do?
I am so content and grateful for where I am in life right now. I am exactly where I want to be. And
awesome.
Yeah, it feels...
That's really refreshing to hear.
Thanks. It feels really good, and it took a long time, and it took a lot of work.
Yeah.
And confusion and struggle and whatnot. But I'm very happy with... I used to do something for work that I really disliked, and I decided to make a change. That's why I did the Kickstarter. That's why I took a leap to do something else, something creative. And I just felt like I had to. And it wasn't a bad job. It just wasn't for me. I needed to find something that I found meaningful. And owning an art gallery is exactly that. I love it. It's such a good job, and I work with such good people, and I really enjoy it. I love being there. I love what I do. And having my son was born 2 years ago, and that's completely changed my life. And I'm just, very happy, very content. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm super glad to hear that. I can't think of a higher note to end things on. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for chatting with me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.